Hello, and welcome to another episode of DubaiPodcast. Today I have with me, as usual, Jose and Marin. How are you guys?
Good, Pablo, and you?
I'm very happy for today's episode. And you?
I'm very happy as well. I'm afraid that the guest is going to be better than us.
I think for the first time, this guest has more experience than us in this. Hello, man. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, I was excited to do it. I haven't done a podcast in Dubai, and you got the best. I mean, I don't know how you managed to get Dubai podcast, but this is amazing.
We're the first ones. First come, first served, So yeah. So we are gonna begin like we do with all of the guests, talking a little bit about you. Where do you come from? Why are you here in Dubai? What are you doing here in Dubai? Because we haven't said it yet, but you are a radio host.
Yes.
So that's why you have way more experience than us in this. Like you're gonna destroy us in this talking to a microphone thing.
It's interesting how much different being on the radio is than being on a podcast. Mm-hmm. I have just as much experience as you do with it. I did a podcast for a little while, about 44 episodes, but it showed me how different it is. Mm-hmm. You're talking for a long time, and on the radio, you just want to, every time you talk, you're in between songs, unless you have a talk show, but for us, we're in between songs, and you have to really keep everything concise. You can't go off on different subjects and tangents and things like that. But during a podcast, it's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation.
So you can do whatever you want. There's no rules.
That's true. We will come back to the radio thing because I have a couple of questions about how radio works.
Yeah.
But tell us, where do you come from and how did you come here to Dubai and why?
I grew up in Detroit, in Michigan, in the U.S., and I moved around a lot, all around the U.S., Chicago, New York City, San Antonio, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, most recently. And then I was there doing a radio show, morning radio show, breakfast show. And I was all settled. I had an apartment. I was with my girlfriend, who I was in love with, and we were all settled in. And then I, as a joke, applied to this job in Dubai at Dance. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I even told my boss, I was like, hey man, I applied for a job at a radio station in Dubai, and we all had a good laugh. And then a month later, I got an email offering me the job here. And then I had to go to my boss and say, hey, remember when I applied for that job?
Oh my God.
And he was,
how long ago was this?
This was about 8 months ago.
8 months. You've been like what? How much time in Dubai? Like 7 months, 6 months?
7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not long at all.
Okay.
No,
That's
nothing,
good. That's good. That's good.
I've been here for a year, so less than me.
True. So okay, let's talk about this radio show that you have in here. I've listened to it in the morning.
Really?
I have.
Oh, cool.
I've been all week listening to it every morning in the office, and I have to say that it's really good. Like it's dance music. By the way, it's dance 97.8, right? And it's so nice. Like I was in the office, like with my Excel spreadsheet, my fucking Excel spreadsheet, and I was listening to it, and I was like moving my ass like this, like oh my
motivated,
God.
Eh?
It
really
gets you
motivated.
motivated. It gets you motivated.
Were you more
Nice.
efficient? Like
I don't know if I was more efficient. You should ask my manager about this. But I'm telling you, like, congratulations. It's very dynamic, and I like the music. I like the music
But
a lot.
I think they have a problem because we don't catch the station in our car. We don't catch the 97.8.
I think it's because our car, it's a little bit old.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We only catch like even numbers. It's even numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Because all the radio stations in Dubai are on odd numbers, so that might be the problem.
No, that's it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's
it is
the
your
problem.
car.
But we take another ones.
No,
man.
we take only the odd numbers, and it's 97.8, so it's an even number, and we don't catch it.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, you have the opposite. Yeah, that's what I meant. All the stations here are even numbers. In the U.S., all of them are odd numbers. So what you have is the wrong kind of radio.
No.
Can't get anything.
No, you know why? Because our car, it's American car. It's an American Mustang.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why.
That's
yeah,
why.
That's why, man.
Yeah, you can't get
Something
any
was
radio
happening.
stations. Have you noticed that none of them will work?
None of them. That's the
We have
reason.
Some of
That's
them
the reason.
will work,
Now we
but
know.
they'll bleed
we are-
through and they'll sound terrible.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
No. He just explained to us why it doesn't work.
Okay, man. We
You
are
both have
engineers.
American cars?
Yeah, we share a car.
Yeah.
Okay, and so wait, how did you bring it here? Did you buy it here?
We bought it here, yeah.
That's so funny. There's got to be. I think you have to.
Man, I was like, Pablo, I'm not catching this station.
It's impossible to catch
And Pablo,
even stations.
Pablo, the engineer of the boat.
Touching the antenna.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna touch the antenna. You know.
By the way, we only did this to catch
Yeah.
97.8.
Yeah.
That was the main purpose of it.
That's amazing. So yeah, you won't be able to listen.
So
We won't-
maybe you cannot reach a lot of people in Dubai because they cannot reach.
Because they have American cars.
So how did a car from America get out here?
I have no idea.
There is a lot.
Some idiot must have shipped it over here.
Yeah. That's it.
It's so. I was gonna ship my car. It's so expensive. It's not
guess,
even
yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why is there so many cars
Who
from
knows?
American.
Who knows? Anyway, your radio show. Tell us more about it because I've listened to it in the morning, but I don't know like which days are you like recording or on air and from what times in the morning.
Sure. So it's me and Jade and our producer Jake, and it's 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and we're live every hour of that. So if you hear us between 6 and 10, we're live on the air. The only time we might record something is if we get a phone call. And we'll record phone calls just in case if somebody swears. We need to.
You don't take the risk of
beep it
having
out.
someone.
Yeah, once in a while I'll take a live phone call just because that's what I'm used to. And every time I do it, I'm just so nervous that it's not even worth it. So I don't do it as much as I used to.
Because this guy can like swear or say any random shit, you know?
It's not just my job; it's the entire. Can you imagine the entire station getting shut down because I just felt like because I pressed a button? Yeah, so I didn't want that burden on me.
Oh my god.
It's not even a fine, it's shut down.
Yeah. Well, it depends.
Okay.
It depends on who hears it, and it depends on how bad it is, and if the wrong person hears it and tells the wrong person that's above them, and it gets to the right. It's just you never know, so you don't want to risk it.
Of course. I've also seen that this with radio station, by the way, it's all about dance music. So we're talking about like EDM, house music,
Yes.
dance music. You went to Tomorrowland to interview some DJs.
That was my first. I had gotten here in June, and Tomorrowland is in July. So within my first month of working here, they sent me to Tomorrowland. We had our own studio built into Tomorrowland. We got a hotel, so we didn't have to camp with everybody else. We got to go to a hotel every night and
so
take
good.
showers.
That's because I've been there in Tomorrowland. I went back in 2011 when it was not popular at all, and it's crazy in there. And I saw you like interviewing Fede Legrand, Nicky Romero.
We got to interview, Nicky Romero. We got to interview Laid Back Luke. We got to interview Solardo, Loud Luxury, just loads of people. And it was so much fun. But also, we were on no sleep because it's just you know how it is.
I know.
Tomorrowland, it's a music festival.
Yeah.
It's nonstop. So you could tell I was getting delusional because I asked Fede Legrand. He does that song "Put Your Hands Up for Detroit."
We love Put Your
This
Hands
song
for
is
Detroit.
2008 or when I was like 14.
We were a kid, but it's an amazing song. It's like a
We were to
it's
this
legendary
dance,
song.
To these clubs that are for people between 14 and 17. I was going there and this music was always there, you know.
It's always on. So I grew up in Detroit. Think about how much I heard that song.
It's crazy.
I heard it nonstop. So before the interview even starts, I had to say something to him. So the first thing I said before the interview was, I was like, "Hey, I'm from Detroit, and I just heard your song.
And I love the city,
I heard
you
your
know?
song.
And I love this city.
And I love the city as well." And he was really receptive to that, and he goes, "Oh, how did you get from Detroit to Dubai?" And I was like, "Oh, it's easy. You take a direct flight out of Chicago." And I was so tired that's what I thought he meant. Like Fede Legrand had never traveled before.
Yeah, never.
And he was like, "Well, no, I meant your career." And then I had to kind of, "Oh, right, yeah, you know how to fly." And then I explained how I got here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it was nice, no? Like it was
He
an
was
amazing
so
experience.
nice. He was cool. Everybody that we interviewed was awesome.
Did you ask him why Detroit? Why not? Because he's not even from the States.
Well, Detroit is one of the homes of techno music. I mean, it's
That's true.
where.
That's true.
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a festival called the Movement Festival, and it's a huge festival in Detroit, and it's just and people in Detroit are out of their minds. So the festivals are always crazy. And what's unique to Detroit is, and It's a genre that's kind of died off, but I'd like to see it brought back. There's a genre of dance music called ghetto tech, where it's
Ghetto tech.
people yelling really aggressive, like imagine one line from a hip hop song, and they just kind of repeat that over and over again over some beats that are kind of like drum and bass esque.
Okay.
So it would be like they're so bad.
Some weird
they're
shit.
so
some weird
raunchy.
Shit.
It's like it would be like, come on over, pop that booty, come on over, pop that booty, over and over, and then the beat would drop, and it's just that, and it's
Oh my God.
it was so huge, and then it kind of died off, but I'd like to see it brought back. But it's so entire genres of dance music that people haven't even heard of come from Detroit.
Okay. Going back to radio, like your job in here, I've always had a curiosity. So most of the time when you're listening to a radio, there is music playing. What are you doing while that music is playing? That's like half of the time. Are you just chilling in there, having a coffee in there, just checking Instagram?
Well, a lot of times
Checking Tinder.
Yeah, it's like I like that. Let's see. In between, so a lot of times we're planning out. Before the show even starts, we have an Excel spreadsheet where we plan out every topic that we're going to discuss. We don't plan out what we're going to say, but we know the general direction of what the conversation is going to be.
Okay.
That way we can stay on topic, and everybody on the show kind of knows what the conversation is.
Okay.
Which is really helpful. But for each one, sometimes we need to talk about it a little bit more. Hey, I'm going to go this way with it. What are you thinking? Sometimes they're different. So, for example, it's like if something happened to me, I want to talk about it on the air. Let's say I went on a date, and this actually happened. I went on a date, and the woman that I was with didn't ask me a question the entire date.
What?
So, like, she had no interest in anything about
How long was this date? How many hours?
It was half an hour.
Okay.
It was not long.
No
Couldn't
questions.
stand more.
Did you
But
pay?
still, I mean,
In
it
Dubai?
was-
In
it was
Dubai? This happened in Dubai?
It was half an hour for a reason. I was like, you don't like me at all. So I left the date, and then I was like, well, I want to talk about this on the air. And I was like, I think maybe we should do. And then we always like to invite the listeners to talk about it with us. So we'll say, all right, maybe we should do most awkward dates, and then we'll have a conversation like, oh no, what if we did worst dates? That's more general, and more people can kind of get in on that. So then that's the type of conversation we might have about it.
Okay.
And then that way everybody knows, oh, we're going to invite listeners to talk about worst dates, so we should talk about worst dates in this context.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that you were talking about like real things that were going on with you, but you do it like it's really short. It's like song, then you talk like for like 2-3 minutes, something like a real story, which it makes it really entertaining, and then you go to the next song.
Yeah.
And it's really dynamic, man. I really liked it.
But you have your Excel with your topics, but in the songs, between the songs, what do you do?
So in between the songs, we'll have those type of conversations, but we'll also do
you
things
do this,
like
okay.
get coffee, go to the bathroom,
Swiping.
check. A lot of times we're doing social media either for the station or just responding to people's messages. We get a lot of text messages, so we'll respond to those.
Yeah.
We're calling. If somebody wants to interact with us, they'll text in, and then we'll call them. So they'll text in, we'll read the text, they'll kind of have their comment, then we'll call them up and say, oh, what do you want to say? And then we'll get into the conversation with them. That recording happens while the songs are playing.
Okay, I think we will call next time, and we will like
You should.
get it, like say quickly, listen to the podcast.
Do it.
We will.
Yeah, we'll put it on. I don't care.
Okay, Sunday we will
I
call
don't
you.
have- we don't have any rules.
We cannot even listen to it in the car, so.
Yeah, no, but I was listening like streaming in the office, like
Yeah.
through internet. Yeah,
Yeah,
was,
dancefm.com does a really good job of letting you stream really easily through the website and even through the mobile app. And then they have an actual app too. So it's
What
really
is
easy.
the app?
It's Dance FM,
okay.
which is so easy.
Okay, I saw that you also the radio station. I guess it's working with big and important clubs that we really like here in Dubai, like Zero Gravity, Soho Gardens. By the way, these are like every day, like daily basis, bro.
Really?
You know,
Zero Gravity
second home.
has my favorite brunch.
No, man.
We were there
And I
last
can,
week.
oh, sorry. Corona.
The Friday
Coronavirus.
brunch. I think I saw a picture.
The pineapple, yeah.
I saw a picture.
The tropical, the
Yeah.
tropical.
We
Last
are.
week. Last week we were
We went
there.
last week.
Yeah, it's so I love that brunch. It's my favorite.
Zero Gravity, by the way, if you want to sponsor DubaiPodcast, we are here. Feel welcome to come and talk to us. We love the brunch. I think it's the best brunch in Dubai.
It's
It
so
is.
good.
It is. Okay, I have to. Let's talk about one thing, like controversy thing. You work in a dance radio station, dance music, but you have two Spanish people right now sitting in this table with you, and Spanish people love Latin music.
Yeah.
So first of all, what do you think about reggaeton?
Oh, you know what? I actually enjoy reggaeton remixes to hip hop songs. That's
No.
That's what I like.
So
I don't like reggaeton. Yeah. I think it's
I think it's like our.
I think aside from what I mentioned, I think it's terrible music. I think it should be banned.
It's
from
Simon
everywhere.
speaking. I think it's Simon speaking. You know.
The two French in here have
I
the
love
same
this guy.
same opinion as
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But you don't like it.
I'm like kind of. It's mandatory to like it a bit because here, when you are doing a party with those guys, it's only reggaeton. When you are invited to a party here, it's only reggaeton.
Well, let me give you this. I haven't been exposed to a lot of reggaeton because nobody likes it anywhere else. So
You're killing me right now. You're
I would-
killing
What are
me.
you
You're
talking about?
killing
I
me.
would maybe need to experience some
Yes.
of your favorite
Yes.
songs, and then I might
Yes.
come around a little bit more.
Yes. So
No.
let me introduce this. Let's talk about something.
Yeah.
What would it take for you in live radio station, like introduce like to a good EDM song, and then like fool everyone and put a reggaeton song,
No way.
like on April Fools.
April Fools, yeah. Yeah, I would do that on April
Can we do it?
Fools. It'd be a great April Fool's joke because everybody would be like, "Oh, I hate this. What is this? Why are you
Man,
ruining our lives?"
I'm gonna tell all my friends to go there and say, "Hey man, this is awesome.
This
Continue with this
amazing
music."
song. Okay, because I want to do it like if it actually happened. So do you usually like introduce the songs in some way?
Yeah.
You're gonna do like you introduce it,
Yeah.
like this amazing EDM song, and then we're gonna play this song that will
Oh, yeah.
play that day.
Sounds
okay?
good to me.
Jose, get it prepared.
Yeah.
You're gonna introduce the song, like whatever how you do it in the radio way, and then he plays it. Okay?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yes.
You got. Just so you know, you might get taken off of YouTube for playing it.
Let's take the
Okay.
risk. It's worth
As
it,
long
man.
as
It's
you're
an
good.
amazing song.
All right, go ahead.
Go.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm ready.
Hey, 978 Dance, we've got a really great song here. It's the new Don Diablo, and you're just gonna love it. He's taking a little bit of a different approach on this one, and it's called Back That Thing Up.
Man.
Oh, you know what? You know what this reminds me of is bachata.
It's sort of, but no. Take it. This song is amazing, by the way. This is Bad Bunny, our favorite Latin artist. You know Bad Bunny?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah.
Bad Bunny, new album, by
He's
the way.
on
Go and listen
that
to it.
song with Cardi B.
I like it like
And-
that.
and with
I like
Drake
it.
as well?
Yeah.
Can you please do this on air?
Can we just play I Like It with Cardi B?
No.
Is that close enough?
No.
'Cause that's a great song.
No. Okay. I
doesn't
accept.
count.
No, it does count. It does
Really?
count.
No, you have to play. I get what you're saying. You have to play the actual reggaeton song, or else it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. There is a reggaeton
It's in,
part
it's in
that
our
song.
list of reggaeton list
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
parties. Eh?
If you're doing it, I'm fan number 1 of 97.8 forever. Forever. I will be.
Send me the song.
Okay, I will. We will. Okay, something else about radio. Do you know how many people listen to your program per day? Is there some way to track this? You know how many
Yeah.
people are listening to the radio here in the UAE?
Yeah, there's ratings. There's a ratings
Okay.
company that provides ratings for everyone.
Okay.
And what they do is they call a bunch of people and they ask them what radio stations they listen to on a daily basis.
That's it.
That's how they do it.
That's the only way to track it.
Anyway,
There are different ways, but that's the way that it's done here.
Okay.
In America, the way they do it is they'll select some people to wear these little devices called PPM. Yeah, they're called PPM devices, I guess, and they look like little pagers. And you wear them, and it picks up on radio signals, and that's how they get their ratings. But it's much more expensive for not only the agencies but the radio stations to pay for that. So a lot of stations, I mean, everybody here is fine with how they've been doing it. The ratings seem to pan out and do a good job. for advertisers and for radio stations of showing people what radio stations will get you which listeners.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really difficult for radio station. I mean, if there's a club that want to do some advertisement, they don't really know how many people they can reach in a radio station. It's not like TV. I mean, in TV you have these viewers, you know, these.
In TV, it's the same.
Yeah, well, no, in TV they have like those boxes that are connected to TVs, but our rating system, I would say, is just as accurate because with TV, what they do is, let's say they need to find out how many suburban moms are listening. They'll find all the boxes that are connected to TVs of these moms that they've sent them to and go, all right, and they'll look and see what they watched, but they'll count every single one of those people as maybe 1,000 people in that demographic. So, and that's the same way that the rating. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say this, but that's how the ratings work for radio too. Is they'll talk to somebody. Let's say they're trying to find out how many Arabs listen. They'll call one person that they know is fits their Arab demographic. They'll call them and say, "What radio stations did you listen to?" And then he'll count as 1,000 people.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
because they can't interview everybody.
yeah, of course, yeah, but that was
of course.
a doubt that I had. Like, do you feel how long have you been working as a radio host in your life?
10 years. This is all I know how to do.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you felt that there are less listeners now? There is more listeners now. Has it fluctuated? It's fluctuating because
There's
of internet.
definitely more options. I think
That's true.
that it's still the way to go. So here's what people say to me. They say that if they have a short commute, they're just going to turn on the radio because to set up your phone and get on to whatever you're going to listen to sometimes can be a whole deal.
Yeah, true.
I think that, now we have podcasts as competition. We have all the streaming sites, services as competition. But what radio does a good job of is it's almost like it's weird. If you're listening to a breakfast show, especially on the radio, if you're listening every morning and you kind of get into that routine, you really start to feel like
You get engaged with the people in the radio. You get to know them. You feel like you know them at the end.
Yeah, I've met people before that'll tell me things about myself stuff that I don't even remember.
Really?
They'll be like, "Hey, do you remember when you ate Chinese food last week?" And I'll go, "No." That's so weird. And they feel like they're your friends. And so what's nice about radio is it's also the best. I think it's still the best and most affordable way to advertise locally. Because I think TV is too expensive for a lot of people.
That's true.
And I think that if you're a local business, if you just have an acai bowl place and you're trying to market that locally, a radio station is going to be the best way to go. I think social media marketing depends on your business. I don't think social media marketing does a good job of getting people to go to events. I don't think that you can advertise your event on Instagram with a flyer and have people show up the way you used to be able to. I think that there's so much of that people are kind of
overwhelmed by how
they're
many
overwhelmed by how many things there are.
I've seen that in the radio here in the UAE. There's a lot of events being
it's non-stop.
Yeah, like this DJ on this club, this event, this branch, whatever, and you get to at the end it's in your head every day. Blah, 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 blah.
The thing, for example, imagine that I work in some place that I have different turnovers, different shifts. Like for example, one day I'm working from AM till 3 p.m. Then from 3 p.m. another day 3 p.m. to midnight or whatever. So imagine that I like your show and I can only listen it in the mornings. Can I
that's
listen?
True.
Can
that's
I?
True.
I lost that day. I didn't listen to your show, and I cannot listen it whenever I want or whenever I can.
A lot of times what we'll do is we'll take clips from the show and put it online. That way you can access it any part of the day.
Okay.
But you might not be like you. I think that sometimes you're in the mood for radio. Sometimes you're in the mood of plugging your phone and listening to your music. Some days you're in the mood of listening to a podcast.
I love podcasts. I'm a big podcast fan. When I have long trips, that's all I listen to is podcasts.
For example, me right now, I don't even listen for the news in the TV. I just put the news in the podcast that BBC did.
Yeah, but the radio is always there, and it's like a good option when you're in the car. It's
Not for you,
always a good
It's
option.
not a good option for you because you can't get any of the radio stations here. It's actually the worst option for you.
We have a big problem with the car. We'll talk about it later, but we have a big problem.
That's why.
You wanted to make him the question that we make to all of the guests?
Yes, but I want to ask him before about the podcast you had.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I saw that. As you said before, you had like 44 episodes.
Yeah.
But you have more even because you did you talk about experience about life situations, or because I didn't get what was the common point between all of them. Is life, no? It's just life. I will call you Dr. Love, you know, because she has so many videos about love, like Dubai, long distance relationship, what to do.
Dubai, it's a good place to talk about love. It's a tricky place for love.
What about, can you be with a cheater?
Yeah. It's also the most, whatever reason, that is what people want to engage with and talk about. And it's revealing. You get to share this part of your life that people can either relate to or make fun of or be appalled by. And there's not enough of that here from what I've heard.
It's like, I really like the Nugget competition because he's called Nugget, you know? So it was like playing with words, you know?
No, but it's true. I think that love is a tricky thing here in Dubai,
yeah.
Like, lots of people coming, leaving, I don't know.
What I really like is that you, the people listening to you was like taking part in the podcast, you know? You were asking and you were playing the questions and talk about what they concerns, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you are engaging more people there. So
Are you guys on all the dating apps? What are you hold on. Tinder, Bumble.
I'm out of there.
How long did you use them? How long have you been here?
I've been here 1 year and a half right now.
A year and a half.
No, but I'm in a relationship.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
With her?
No, with her. She's in Tinder.
No, I'm not.
Are you?
No.
Were you at some point?
Everyone has been at some point in Tinder.
Everyone.
Yeah.
No, I'm single, but
You are more of a Bumble guy, yeah? I think you're more of a Bumble guy.
No, you're more LinkedIn guy, eh?
You know what? I would prefer to use Bumble, but here in Dubai, I find that there's way more people on Tinder.
it is true.
Yeah, way more people. But it's definitely interesting because what's funny about all these dating apps is, have you noticed that if you're friends with somebody, you meet them organically? Let's say you meet them through a friend, and then you end up going on dates.
Yeah, of course.
Do you notice that you're more forgiving of all the red flags and like they could have a lot of things where you're like, oh, I don't know about that, and you just ignore it because you've already known them?
Yeah.
Whereas if you go on one of these Tinder dates, you'll meet somebody and they'll have some little tiny like
You get worried about that, right?
and you're like, well, they don't floss twice a day. They only floss once. I can't date this person. Which is hilarious because there would be way bigger faults with people that you've met organically that you're just like, I'm sure it's fine. They've murdered a couple people. It's and then, but then the littlest thing on Tinder, and you're just like, nah, done. And it's because you just don't have a connection that's based on anything other than these online conversations.
Man, I think you could be a good candidate for our Tinder specials because we do Tinder specials, you know?
Yeah.
What?
How Tinder works
Is that where you bring everybody into this room and they all have to date each other?
No, that's not a Tinder. It's not a Tinder special.
I think you should do that.
We bring people here to talk about their experience using Tinder in Dubai.
Oh,
like
okay.
dating people in Dubai. We brought a guy and we brought a girl also. Yeah, true. Because when this is released, her episode will also be released. So I'm doing like, So yeah, maybe you could be a good candidate for a Tinder special.
I'm down, whatever you need. I've got, I would imagine a lot of stories.
I think that you like the ones that have the number in the photo.
Oh, no.
Those are ladies of the night.
Ladies of the night. Ask him your question.
I didn't know that when I
Ask him
first
your
moved
question.
here. When I first moved here, I was
You got
talking to
tricked.
him.
You got tricked.
Yeah.
You were trapped, eh?
I was talking to him. I was like, "That's really forward of you to give out your number." And they were like, and then I
Something
noticed
fishy's going
they
on
wouldn't
here.
respond. They wouldn't respond to my question. I would be like, "So, like, how do you feel about? Do you want to get tacos or something?"
How was your day, bro?
And they would be like, "Tacos? How about a massage?" I'm like,
Oh.
"That's not what I want at all."
Straightforward.
Yeah. I'm like, I'd rather have food.
It was from 0 to 100, you know?
Yeah.
We don't have that from the girl side. We don't have
Right.
guys with the numbers now.
Which is too bad.
You
know
should
what?
you should put your number in your photo.
Yeah. My favorite.
Call me
part
crazy,
is-
but
My favorite part about all of it is, have you seen so there's a lot of profiles. This is the most entertaining thing. there will be women that'll put on their profiles, not interested in any bullshit, which I think is so funny because what guy is going, oh, she's not interested in bullshit?
Match.
Well, I've got to find somebody that is. It's just, I'm just like, obviously.
Yeah. True. Man, making the question, bro. I don't know why we ended up talking about Tinder.
Hey, man.
We just went off.
No rules.
Dr. Love, man.
Yeah,
It's
Dr. Love. Dr. Love.
Okay, so we asked this question to all the guests here. So what's your favorite, the thing you like the most about Dubai?
Place, thing,
The
thing
food.
The food?
Yes.
The local food, the typical classic local Dubai food.
Well, no, the thing is, in Dubai, if you know where to go, and I haven't discovered, there's so many places I'm sure I haven't discovered yet, but I had never had Indian food before I moved here.
So
And now it's my absolute favorite food.
You like spicy food?
I love spicy food.
It's too spicy.
So it's too spicy.
It's too spicy?
When I'm at work, to the guy to the restaurant, I told him, okay, from 0 to 10, 10 being Indian food, how spicy is this, you know?
And at 4, it's already very spicy.
If they don't tell me less than 4, I don't take it.
I love spicy food, so I discovered Indian food. I love that. Yeah, the food is my favorite thing.
You're the first one that tells us about the food, which is true. Like
Now,
you have
there's
so many
some
options
food that's
here.
terrible.
Of course.
Like the pizza, I have a really hard time finding good pizza, good wings, and
There is
good
Pizza
tacos.
Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, it's been do some promotion of your things, of your
Really?
of your
Now-
radio, of your Instagram.
How much time have we gone?
Not
into?
we're out of time.
Are we?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I have questions for you. If we're out of time, I'll save it for the next one.
No, ask them. Let's go.
No.
Let's go.
First, let me do the thing. So
Let's go.
Instagram at Nugget in the AM.
Is Nugget your real name?
No, Sam.
It's a really good moment to ask this.
Yeah.
Right at the
Sam
end.
is my real name. Nugget is a name I got. I beat this guy that was 158 kgs in a chicken nugget eating contest, and so people just started calling me that from then on. Yeah, and I can't get rid of it now.
Oh my god! How many nuggets did you eat?
The thing is, we had one of those large Wendy's chocolate Frosties first, and then I had 42.
42
and he had
nuggets.
39. Yeah.
Whoa.
I have to say
The hard
that
part
nuggets are
is
really
the
good.
shake. The nuggets aren't that impressive. Dairy does not digest that well. I don't know if you knew that, but it is not easy to digest.
Oh my god. I'm getting hungry talking about nuggets. They're so good. Are we talking about McDonald's chicken nuggets?
We did Wendy's because
Wendy's, okay,
at the
Wendy's.
time McDonald's was you get 4 for, it was in the US $1, and Wendy's you get 5, and we didn't have that much money, so we try to save money. But I have to ask you, so how many episodes have you done at this point?
This is episode number 6.
Okay, so
People
I'm
are listening to
doing it
episode
right at the
number 6.
beginning.
Yeah.
Can I buy stock in the company? And
Yeah,
then
you
just,
can.
And then once
Yeah,
you
you
guys
can.
get paid,
Of
just
course,
be
you
a
can.
partner.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
you guys, this is, I was telling you before the podcast, you're gonna be huge. Dubai podcast, people will just type in Dubai and you'll just pop up.
Yeah, we hope.
We'll see what happens.
Of course, man.
First, we need to stay in Dubai for that. And
And also,
Yeah.
now that I've done this, you gotta obviously come on my podcast.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deal. We have a deal.
Cool.
We have a deal. For sure. Anyway, to everyone listening here in Dubai and everything, tune in with 97.8 Dance. It's going to give you a lot of energy in the morning. I can assure you that. It's so nice. Man,
Thank you.
Sam, thank you so much for
This is
coming.
so much fun.
I think it's been an amazing episode.
Yeah.
I liked it so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you. What the fuck? Remember to follow us on Instagram. follow Sam, but follow us too. We need to grow a little bit.
And subscribe on YouTube.
And so, whatever you
Yeah.
want to do, we will be happy if you do. Again, thank you so much, and see you on the next episode. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye bye.